Hey Stoic warriors, welcome back. The ancient Romans had a phrase, memento mori, remember you will die, not to depress you, but to wake you from the sleep of the living dead. Because right now, you're not living, you're leaking, your energy hemorrhages from 1,000 invisible wounds, and you've become so accustomed to the bleeding, you've forgotten what it feels like to be whole. You know that sensation when you're standing at the edge of exhaustion, where your soul feels like it's been scraped raw against the concrete of existence, where every human interaction feels like someone asking you to donate blood you don't have. That's not burnout. That's what happens when you've been running someone else's software in your mind for so long, you've forgotten you're the programmer. Marcus Aurelius wrote by candlelight while plague ravaged his empire. Confine yourself to the present, 7 words that could resurrect your entire existence. Because your energy isn't disappearing into thin air, it's being siphoned by ghosts of conversations that ended years ago and phantoms of disasters that will never arrive. You're fighting wars in timelines that don't exist, while your actual life passes by like a stranger you're too distracted to notice. Energy mastery isn't about becoming some enlightened monk floating above earthly concerns. It's about becoming so ruthlessly protective of your mental resources that mediocrity can't even get an appointment with you. The Stoics weren't peaceful because they were weak. They were peaceful because they understood that chaos is expensive, and they refused to go bankrupt funding other people's drama. Picture your mind as an ancient citadel. Most people leave every gate open, letting any passing army of thoughts, opinions, and emotions ransack their inner sanctuary. They wake up conquered before the day even begins. But you're about to learn the architectural secrets of an impenetrable fortress, not one that keeps you isolated, but one that makes you sovereign over your own existence. These 5 rules aren't philosophical concepts to ponder. They're psychological weapons forged in the furnaces of human suffering and triumph. Seneca used them to survive Nero's madness. Epictetus wielded them to transform slavery into spiritual sovereignty. Marcus Aurelius deployed them to govern an empire while his personal world crumbled. If they could master their energy in those circumstances, your modern problems are about to become laughably manageable. So if you're ready to stop being an energy charity for everyone else's chaos, to stop feeling like a phone perpetually on 2% battery, then prove it, like this video, as your declaration of war against your own weakness. Subscribe, because this transformation is a campaign, not a battle. Share it with someone drowning in their own depletion, and don't you dare skip ahead. Each rule is a key, and you need all 5 to unlock your untouchable state. Now let's get into it. Number 1. Become allergic to irrelevance. You've been programmed to care about everything. Every notification, every opinion, every microaggression, every sideways glance. Your nervous system treats a delayed text message with the same alarm as your ancestors reserved for stalking predators. You're literally killing yourself with caring, and the universe doesn't even notice. Selective indifference isn't apathy. It's strategic assassination of everything that doesn't serve your evolution. The Stoics understood something we've forgotten. Attention is currency, and you've been making it rain in a strip club of distractions while your dreams starve in the parking lot. Epictetus dropped pure wisdom when he said, "It's not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about those things." Translation: you're not tired because life is hard. You're tired because you're judging every moment like you're the universe's only Supreme Court justice. Every experience gets a full trial in your mind. The mental legal fees are bankrupting you. Watch what happens to your energy when someone doesn't text back immediately. Your mind becomes a detective agency. What did I say wrong? Are they angry? Are they with someone else? You've just burned through the same mental calories your ancestors needed to hunt for 3 days, over a text, from someone who's probably just taking a dump. The brutality of selective indifference is that it requires you to admit that most of your emotional investments are pyramid schemes. That argument you're rehearsing with someone who disrespected you 3 months ago, they've forgotten you exist. That perfect comeback you've crafted? They're not listening. You're shadowboxing with ghosts while real opportunities walk past your door. Starting tomorrow, you implement the 24-hour relevance test. Before you invest a single joule of energy into any situation, ask, will this matter in 24 hours? If not, it gets the indifference treatment. Not rudeness, not cruelty. Just the calm acknowledgement that this particular circus didn't hire you as a clown. Feel that resistance rising. That's your programming fighting back. But what if people think I don't care? Let them. Their thoughts about your thoughts are a recursive loop of irrelevance. You're not here to win a caring contest. You're here to become so energetically sovereign that your mere presence shifts rooms. Number 2, transform poison into power. Every emotion you've ever suppressed is still alive inside you, feeding on your energy like a parasite you've agreed to host. You've been taught that negative emotions are enemies to defeat, demons to exorcise. Wrong. They're raw materials waiting to be transmuted into pure power. But you've been too scared to touch the furnace. The Stoics knew what modern psychology is just rediscovering. Emotions aren't the problem. Emotional illiteracy is. You're walking around with a nuclear reactor in your chest, but nobody taught you the control panels. So you either suppress until you explode, or express until you exhaust everyone around you. Both roads lead to depletion. Seneca wrote while in exile, "Every new thing excites the mind, but a mind that seeks truth turns from the new and seeks the old." He wasn't talking about nostalgia. He was revealing that ancient emotions keep returning because you've never learned their language. Your anger keeps knocking because it has a message you keep refusing to receive. Emotional alchemy isn't about positive thinking or gratitude journaling your way out of legitimate rage. It's about recognizing that anger is just misdirected life force. That anxiety is your power scattered across 10,000 imaginary futures. That depression is your energy investing in a past that's already declared bankruptcy. You're not broken. Your energy is just poorly allocated. Watch a master blacksmith work. Does he fear the fire? Does he run from the heat? No, he understands that the same force that could destroy him is the force that creates the sword. Your emotions are that fire. Most people get burned because they either run from it or stick their face in it. You're about to learn to forge with it. When rage rises, don't suppress it or express it. Process it. Ask it, what boundary of mine has been crossed? When anxiety floods your system, don't medicate it or meditate it away. Interrogate it. What power am I pretending I don't have? When sadness arrives, don't drown in it or dismiss it. Decode it. What truth am I finally ready to accept? This isn't therapy speak. This is warrior code. Every unconverted emotion is an energy leak. Every processed feeling becomes fuel. The person who triggered you, they just gave you free power, but only if you know how to extract it. They pressed a button that was already installed in your system. Instead of blaming them for pressing it, thank them for showing you where your control panel needs upgrading. Tomorrow, when that familiar emotional wave hits, and it will, You don't ride it or run from it. You stand in it like a conductor before lightning, channeling that raw force into forward momentum. Your irritation becomes investigation. Your frustration becomes fuel. Your disappointment becomes determination. The untouchable mind isn't emotionless. It's emotionally sovereign. It takes whatever feeling arrives and asks one question: how can I weaponize this for my growth? Number 3, become ruthlessly expensive. You've been running a charity called Unlimited Access to My Energy, and you wonder why you're emotionally bankrupt. Every person with a problem has your number. Every crisis finds your door. You're not generous, you're leaking, and the people feeding off your energy don't respect you. They've simply learned you're an all-you-can-eat buffet that never closes. Marcus Aurelius commanded legions but wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." He wasn't just talking about time. He was establishing boundaries with the endless demands of empire. If the most powerful man in Rome could say no, what's your excuse for being everyone's emotional janitor? Sacred boundaries aren't walls to keep people out. They're filters to ensure only quality energy enters your space. You've been accepting counterfeit currency in your emotional economy, then wondering why you're broke. Every vampire in your life started as someone you invited in because you were too polite to check their teeth. The brutal reality: your availability has become your weakness. People don't urgently need you. They've just learned you'll always answer. That friend who only calls with problems? You train them. That family member who dumps their drama on you? You issued them a permanent backstage pass to your peace. You're not helping them. You're enabling their refusal to handle their own existence. Starting now, you implement entry fees for your energy. Not money, standards. Before someone gets your emotional labor, they need to demonstrate emotional investment. Before they get your time, they need to respect its value. Before they access your peace, they better come correct, or don't come at all. Watch what happens when you start charging admission to your attention. The energy vampires will scream. They'll call you selfish, cold, changed, good. Their accusations are withdrawal symptoms from their addiction to your availability. Their anger is the sound of your boundaries working. Their disappointment is your independence being born. The Stoics understood that saying no to others meant saying yes to yourself. Every boundary you set is energy you reclaim. Every limit you establish is power you restore. You're not becoming mean, you're becoming expensive. And expensive things don't apologize for their value. Delete those numbers of people who only remember you exist when they need something. Stop responding to messages that start with drama and end with requests. End conversations that drain more than they deliver. Your phone isn't a public utility. Your presence isn't a public service. Your energy isn't a renewable resource for everyone else's consumption. Feel that guilt creeping in? That's your conditioning, not your conscience. You've been programmed to believe that having boundaries makes you bad. But drowning yourself to keep others afloat isn't noble. It's nonsensical. Two corpses don't make a rescue. From this moment forward, your energy operates on an invitation-only basis. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table. Not every problem deserves your solution. Not every crisis deserves your calm. You're not abandoning people. You're abandoning the role of universal savior that nobody actually asked you to play. Number 4, your words are weapons. Stop firing blanks. You're hemorrhaging power through your mouth. Every unnecessary explanation, every defensive justification, every attempt to make everyone understand you, it's all energy evaporating into the void. You've become a commentary track on your own existence, narrating every move to an audience that isn't even paying attention. Epictetus, who learned wisdom through forced silence as a slave, revealed, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." But you've reversed the equation. You're speaking to fill silence, explaining to avoid judgment, talking to convince yourself. Your words have become white noise, and your power is the price of admission. Strategic silence isn't about becoming mute. It's about recognizing that every word you speak is an energy expenditure that either builds your empire or funds someone else's. Most of your conversations are energy welfare programs. You're subsidizing other people's need for validation, entertainment, or conflict. Meanwhile, your dreams suffocate in the speeches you never needed to give. Watch what you do when someone misunderstands you. You launch into professor mode, desperately trying to correct their perception. But their misunderstanding isn't your emergency. Their opinion isn't your responsibility. You're not running for mayor of their mind. Let them be wrong about you. Their incorrect assumptions about your life don't change your reality unless you grant them that power. The masters of power throughout history understood this. Silence is a strategic weapon that makes your words nuclear when you finally deploy them. When you speak rarely, people lean in. When you explain nothing, you become mysterious. When you refuse to defend yourself, you become unassailable. Your silence becomes a mirror where others see their own noise. Tomorrow, implement the 3 gates protocol. Before any words leave your mouth, they must pass through 3 gates. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If it fails any gate, it stays inside. Watch how much energy you save when you stop providing director's commentary on everyone else's performance. That urge to correct someone's wrong opinion about you, swallow it. That need to share your plans with people who haven't earned that intelligence, silence. That compulsion to fill awkward pauses with nervous chatter, let the silence breathe. Awkwardness is just social tension, and tension is where transformation lives. Your ancestors understood that words were spells. That's why they called it spelling. Every sentence you speak is casting something into existence. But you've been casting curses on your own energy, speaking your power into dissolution, explaining your magic until it disappears. Your mouth has become a leak in your energetic dam. The untouchable mind speaks like a sniper shoots, rarely, precisely, devastatingly. Your silence becomes more powerful than most people's speeches. Your withholding becomes more valuable than their sharing. You're not being antisocial, you're being economical with your verbal currency. When you master strategic silence, something supernatural happens. People start assigning depth to your quietness, wisdom to your withholding, power to your pause. You haven't become more profound. You've just stopped proving you're not. Number 5. Become your own majority shareholder. You've been investing all your energy in everyone else's stock while your own company crashes. You know their problems better than your potential. You've memorized their needs while forgetting your dreams. You're a billionaire in everyone else's currency, but can't afford a single moment of your own peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote while his empire crumbled, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, 'I have to go to work as a human being.'" He wasn't motivated. He was invested, not in the empire, in his own evolution. The empire was just the venue. Your life is your venue, but you've been treating it like someone else's stage. Energetic investment means recognizing that you're both the stock and the stockholder in your own existence. Every moment you spend solving problems you didn't create is insider trading against yourself. Every hour you dedicate to someone else's emergency while your dreams gather dust is market manipulation against your own future. The brutal mathematics of energy reveals something terrifying. If you live to 80, you have roughly 700,000 hours. Subtract sleep, work, and basic maintenance. You're left with maybe 100,000 hours of discretionary energy. You've probably already spent 30,000 of those hours on people who wouldn't spend 30 minutes on your funeral eulogy. You're not generous. You're financially illiterate with your own life force. Starting immediately, you become a venture capitalist of your own energy. Every request for your time gets evaluated like a business proposal. What's the ROI? What's the growth potential? What's the exit strategy? If someone wants your energy, they better come with a prospectus that shows mutual benefit, or the answer is a non-negotiable no. Watch the horror on people's faces when you start treating your energy like the non-renewable resource it actually is. You've changed, they'll say. Yes, you've stopped being a non-profit organization in a for-profit world. You've ceased being everyone's emotional soup kitchen while you starve for your own nourishment. The Stoics knew that self-investment wasn't selfish. It was strategic. Seneca accumulated wealth, not for luxury, but for freedom. He invested in himself so he could choose his battles rather than fight everyone else's. Your energy needs the same strategic allocation. Every yes to someone else's agenda is a no to your own evolution. This isn't about becoming a narcissist who only cares about themselves. It's about becoming a reservoir that fills itself first before attempting to water others. You can't pour from an empty cup, but you've been trying to pour from a cup that never even belonged to you. From today forward, you invest 51% of your energy in your own growth, minimum. That's reading the books that expand you, not explaining yourself to people who refuse to understand. That's building skills that compound, not solving problems that regenerate. That's creating your future, not maintaining everyone else's present. You're not abandoning the world. You're acquiring the resources to actually contribute something meaningful. A broke person can't be generous. An exhausted person can't inspire. A depleted person can't lead. You're not becoming selfish, you're becoming sustainable. These 5 rules aren't suggestions, they're salvation. You now possess the blueprint to become mentally untouchable, energetically sovereign, spiritually unbreakable. But information without implementation is just intellectual entertainment. Tomorrow you either wake up and apply these rules, or you wake up and apply for another day of depletion. The Stoics didn't theorize about strength. They lived it. Through plague, war, slavery, and loss, they remained untouchable because they understood that energy mastery isn't a luxury, it's survival. And in today's attention economy where everyone wants a piece of your peace, it's more critical than ever. Your transformation starts with a choice, not a feeling, not motivation, a choice. Choose to be selective with your indifference. Choose to alchemize your emotions. Choose to establish sacred boundaries. Choose strategic silence. Choose to invest in yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. If this message resonated in your bones, prove it. Like this video as your commitment to change. Subscribe because this journey requires reinforcement. Share it with someone drowning in their own depletion. Comment your affirmation as your public declaration of independence. Comment, "I am mentally untouchable, energetically sovereign, completely unstoppable." The war for your energy ends now. Your reign begins today.